Are you listening?
Zip the shit up. Frank, hush. Okay, because you know better.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise. Yes, welcome my creep. Welcome new peeps. Welcome everybody to the show that's officially sponsored by cardsutopia.com, where you can get sweet Magic Gathering dice bags like this, or that little one that Hillbilly's showing off to the side. Or you can get sweet vinyl lined dice bags. You can get sweet strawberry bags. I believe they're called strawberry bags. You can get sweet lapel pins, cool little command zone 3D printed doohickey, and some really cool paintings. You can get a lot of these things customized to your favor. It's pretty awesome. All can be found at cardsutopia.com. Yeah, that's right. Well, hello. Holy smokes. James Willis, what's up? I see you blew up chat like a pro. Woohoo. What's up? Captain Waffles, DeBalt, and Hillbilly have made it. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I might be here physically, but I don't know about mentally.
Uh-oh.
You know what they say about adulting? It's all optional.
Well,
It sucks.
I'm gonna betray you again, Taurus. I'm drinking water.
Drink the water. You need to throw that water through a coffee filter is what you need to do.
Hey, but I had my cup of coffee this morning.
Hillbilly. It's called a coffee show. Bring some coffee. Except Captain Waffles. He doesn't drink coffee.
Well, this is
I bring the syrup.
That's right. He brings the waffles to the
I'm drinking what you call pre-coffee.
Is that similar to pre-workout?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Oh man. Such a good day. Such a fine day. I kind of got selfish with the topic. I'm sorry. But it brings people in to talk about how they collect, how they do magic, because I like how the diversity we have on the show when it comes in, and people have their different opinions, different views, different ideas, because when we share our different opinions, views, and ideas, it gives people ways to think and find out personally how they personally like to do things themselves. Woo. But first, let's get to the first segment of the day, Hillbilly.
That would be the
card of the day.
Card of the day.
Card of the day. This card, I'm surprised Hillbilly hasn't put in his vampire deck yet.
nice.
This card is mean and it's evil. It's not super expensive. It's like a $5 card. You want to read this card, Hillbilly?
Sure. Deathbringer Lead for 2 hybrid black and white, hybrid black and white, hybrid black and white. So for 2, 3, 4, 5, you get a 3/4. And it's a creature horror. Other white creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay. Other black creatures you control get +1/+1. Interesting. So it does for black and white creatures. Whenever you cast a white spell, you may tap target creature. Ooh. Whenever you cast a black spell, you may destroy target creature if it's tapped.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the way this works is if you have a creature that's both black and white, it gets +2/+2. If you cast it, you tap down a creature and you destroy it.
Very nice.
So
I'd
like
tap
your
that.
vampires deck, if you cast a black and white vampire, you're tapping down a creature and destroying it as it enters the battlefield.
Nice. DJ.
DJ, what's up, Captain Waffles? You were saying something?
Oh, I just said I'd tap that.
Yeah, I bet you would. What do you think about the card, Tybalt?
I'm trying to find a place for it in my decks that that it would go best. I'm wondering if it would go in my Kalia the Vast. It's a horror, so it's not a dragon demon or whatever, but I might make space for it in there anyhow, because that is a strong effect.
The old art's better. The old art
Yeah.
looks creepier.
I was about
Yeah.
to bring that up. So this is this version's a reprint. It's a these legions were originally printed in the Lauren block. I can't remember if it's from Shadowmoor, Morningtide, whatever.
It's
but,
Shadowmourn Eventide is the block that these came out of.
Right. Well, I thought Shadowmoor was part of Lorwyn.
No, so it went Lorwyn Morningtide was the so based on the lore of the Lorwyn plane, every I forget however many years it shifts between Lorwyn and Shadowmourn. It's actually the same plane. It just changes every so many years. And so Lorwyn Morningtide was the first block, and then Shadowmourn Eventide was the second part of that block.
Oh, I thought it was a four block set.
No, it was 2 block.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was like they're obviously all connected story wise and stuff. I just thought they were all one big block, and that was exciting to me back in the day. I'm like, oh, we got this whole set of blocks.
Yeah, and then so like to show the duality of the plane, that's where the untap mechanic came in, to where it's like you have to untap the creature to activate the ability rather than tap the creature.
Right. Which there are a couple broken combos that came out of that set because of it.
Yeah, don't say.
As soon as you said that, I thought about Pillapella or whatever, and it's like, oh yes, the enabler for half the combos I do.
Right.
What was it? Quill Spike and Devoted Druid or something like that? That was another one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty insane. But as someone who's played that era of Magic, that was a really fun era of Magic.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was a lot of for the first half, there was a lot of tribal synergies, tribal decks. And the second half kind of got chaotic, but all fit in flavor, and just upgraded the decks and brought out different kinds of decks. Because I remember playing an elemental deck back in the day that had the 10-2 trampler person that you soul stoked and invoked into play and did lots of damage.
Then that was the champion one.
Right, and I remember shifting that deck into a Jundy style mainly red black burn deck that came out later. Because the later sets, the second half of the world, the dark half he was talking about, that's when they came out with colorless hybrid mana. And that's what
you had Reaper King, who was 2 colorless, or the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was also the set that was responsible for Planeswalkers coming in and Fairies becoming so dominant.
Right. And Flame Javelin was one hell of a burn spell back in the day.
Well, yeah, you had Spectral Procession, you had Flame Javelin, you had Unmake. Like, there were so many powerful cards that came out with hybrid set.
Oh yeah, for reals. And now
I just played that Reaper King last night.
Reaper King, hell yeah. For pictures of the day, we got a slew of pictures because Hillbilly sent one later in. I figured I'd use. But first picture of the day, boom. So yeah, if Thursday could be Friday, that'd be great. Like I can't mimic the guy's voice, but the Office movie was hilarious.
Yes.
But then we got, you mean to tell me it's only Thursday, it's not Friday? Then I really didn't have another plan. I was counting on caffeine to get me through the day. Yeah, that's right. Then Hillbilly shared this little pupper's picture. Look at that. His dog even begs for coffee. It's a good picture of the puppers. All right. Woo! That was a bit in a minute. I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment. One day we'll be all powerful and a sponsor in that segment. All right. All right. Now, as we go on continuing, we actually have wait, hold on a second. As a whole, it has always been said that the era of these 4 sets on this plane was a lull downtime for players, but the group that I was a part of could not get enough of these sets. Now, Lorwyn was just an amazing set. The whole Lorwyn block and the Eventide block was just insane. I mean, the only other set that to me that championed the same kind of excitement as like a whole set like that was Shards of Allura block. Then we ended up going to the Rise of Eldrazi, which is a standalone set in the third set in that block. That was insane. Pretty amazing. Pretty cool.
Well, you had Zendikar, World Lake, and then the Eldrazi thing.
Right.
I wish they'd go back to the blocks.
I wish they'd do that too, because Zendikar came out after Allura, Shards of Allura block.
Yeah,
I remember that before, and that was a great set. Then we went to Zendikar. Then I remember particularly as Zendikar was coming during the Zendikar block and stuff. We were loving the set, but like they were doing all the little clues and stuff like they'd like to do when they do set releases. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, they used to make you want to know what was happening in the set, and they did a whole big video spoiler for Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, to introduce the Eldrazi's that me and my friend begged for rides for just to see that spoiler. Then we got a promotional weird card, I can't remember, for going to the there wasn't a pre-release party, it was a promotional party for Rise of the Eldrazi that Wizards used to do for stores back in the day. And they promoted the card, and we got like a cool time, and we hung out. It was great. And we went through a lot of work just to see a new card.
I wish they'd go back to that. It'd be nice.
Right.
You know what pre-release was really fun was when they did the whole what was it, Innistrad with Avacyn and all that, and you did the Hell Vault.
Oh, the Hell
Vault.
That
was a fun one.
The Hell Vault. So, funny story. It was a bad weekend for pre-release when we did the Hell Vault. Bad weekend, the meaning like a lot of people actually had to do work and job and stuff. Only 4 people showed up to the second Hell Vault pre-release because our store got 2 Hell Vaults. Wow. So when we played pre-release the second night to open the Hell Vault, all 4 of us split all the stuff from the Hell Vault.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah. See, those oily damn Eldrazi sure made a huge intro to Magic. Hell yeah, they did. All right, now let's tiptoe to the topic of the day. The topic of the day is I love to collect and play MTG. Now, this is all going to be personally monologued by me, about me, but I'd love to know about you. All right. I says I love to collect and play Magic the Gathering. I love to collect the cards in the game that means something to me. What is a collectible card for me? A collectible card is a card that will either accrue monetary value or simply have play value. I love to play the cards. I want to collect and put them into decks or a cube. I really don't like to have cards in a binder unless I am trying to grow a collection of cards to build a commander deck. It bothers me personally to have cards I cannot use that are worth money. That's just me. They just sit there and do nothing. I do love cards, and I do love the cards I collect, and I love cards that have a purpose for a deck. I like staple cards. I love to collect and have cards I believe in having a purpose-driven collection. Even if a purpose-driven collection for you is just to let it sit, gain value, and that's it. That's fine, I guess. Let that be your purpose. I like to see why a card is worth money by playing them. I like to see cards function. And that just may be me. Now, when the opportunity arises, I like to trade value cards or play value cards. And value cards does not mean always have to be worth money. Value cards just can mean it plays well or good in a deck. Now, with that little selfish segment, let me open the floor up to discuss this with everyone. How do you like to collect cards? What's your favorite way to do things? Because sometimes, sometimes people just like to play the game, but they like to collect product as like sealed product.
I I like to collect playable cards that will improve my commander decks.
Right.
And I recently just purchased a new commander deck.
How dare you? How dare you spend your money on magic cards?
Yep, dog meat. So I got a bunch of commander decks that needs improvement, and I want to collect to improve those. That's my way of collecting. Not for value. I don't care about value. Yeah, it's nice to get value. Don't get me wrong. But I also would rather collect cards that will improve my decks.
Ooh. Yeah, improving the deck is my kind of idea of collecting cards. You look like you want to say something to Balt.
So I've got a lot to say about it. Well, it's pretty simple, actually. I like your idea of collecting. Same with hillbillies. I like that because I'm on the absolute opposite end of that spectrum. I am the worst because I have an addictive personality and hoarder habits.
Right.
So I get all the cards I can, I save them up and do nothing with them, get overwhelmed, and then feel like I'm missing out. So I buy more cards and then more cards and more cards. So that's how it's been all along. When I started in the game, I didn't necessarily have a lot of money to invest or whatever. I mean, I started out in my mid to late 20s or whatever when the game came out, and so doing that whole adulting thing, money was tight and so on and so forth. But I would grab everything I could, and I would try to collect for sealed product for value. Get overwhelmed with that. I was opening every box trying to crack it and get my money back. So that just built up and built up and built up. So now, a number of years later, I appreciate the fact that I have that, and I can start like turning some of those things over. So it sort of worked out, but I didn't make the millions that I expected to, and nor will I. But it's been keeping me getting by from day to day right now. But I have started to. Part of the reason why I went through all of my commander decks is because I do want to slim down. I want to focus more on either cards that I use, cards that I collect. My wife is definitely into collecting and appreciating the art and stuff like that. So we will have some things that go into binders and stuff just to be appreciated, regardless of the value. So that's what will happen with those. But the whole thing is like I do need to slim down, and we have like a large series of bulk stuff that I need to either turn over for cash or get rid of or donate or find ways to slim down the thousands and thousands and thousands of cards I have.
I was like that when I first got into Magic, but since I play Arena now, I'm not like it.
Well,
it's changed me.
It's interesting because I came in from the different perspective of collecting cards. I actually came into the world of Magic through the economic value of the game. Like I came in being told and taught and raised in the game that not only are cards playable, they have value. You can trade cards like a trading card game. And so it became an economy. Then I got to taste that some cards are worth money. You can sell them for actual money, and started getting into that. So I never really built up a collection. If every time I built up a collection and I hit a hard spot, I was so easily able to sell my cards. Now I've kind of changed because I actually got cards in this box behind me. I got cards in my room. But one thing I love to do personally is if I feel like I have too much going on, I actually go through my cards and see if there's any playables, and I'll take out what I want to play for like deck building and stuff. and I'll try to flip it on Facebook Market.
Hmm.
You know, because people are willing to buy bulk if it's a decent price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just Captain Waffles, you're quiet, and I don't mean to ignore you. You got anything you want to add to this?
No, I was just giving everybody their due turn. Hey, Tabalt, I got a nice event coming up on 420 if you want some more stuff for your collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the pool game coming up. You know, you can buy some spots into it. Anyways, I've been a little bit of both. I mean, when I first started playing the game back in high school, you know, being a new player, kind of learning the game, I was a hoarder. Like I hoarded a lot of commons and uncommons and rares and things like that. And, you know, because I wanted to get as much as I could, get into the game, figure out things. And I always loved deck building. So I was always messing around with the cards. But as I've gotten older, I've gone to the other end of the spectrum where I'm like, yeah, I don't need thousands of cards of bulk taking up room because when I was living on my own, I had literally an entire closet full of cards. And I was just like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. It's a pain in the butt to move it. You know, you're hauling box after box after box to the car, and then you're like, geez, I got a problem. I got to get rid of these. And so now what I do is like I'll take a bunch of my bulk and donate it to, there's a couple card shops around here that will give cards to like newer and younger players for free. So I'll do that to where I donate like a lot of the bulk commons and uncommons that I don't need. Or there's another shop I go to, they literally give me like a quarter per inch on my commons and uncommons. So I'll take that and sell it. If the other places are like, we're full of cards, don't give us any more. But I'm all about like, if I'm not going to use it, I'm trading it, selling it, or giving it away. I don't need it. Like if it's going to sit in a binder, there's somebody out there in the world that's going to love this Shivan Dragon. There's somebody out in the world that's going to love this 5-cent, you know, rare that I'll never play. I mean, yes, there is value. I mean, I've had to do what you've done, Tortoise, sell my collection when I'm in a hard spot to make money to, you know, pay for a moving expense or whatever. But in the end, like I've come to realize this probably like 5 years ago, right? The stuff that you have 100 years from now, somebody else is going to own it. Why are you going to become so attached to material object that you are going to put yourself in a bad spot at times? Like I have had tons of Lego sets and Funko Pops and this and that and collectibles. And I just looked at it, I was like, this is sitting on my shelf collecting dust. I don't want this. I mean, it's nice to look at, it's nice to have, but in the end, when I'm dead, it's not going to matter. So I'm more of the functional use now. If I'm going to use it, I'll keep it. If I'm not going to use it, I'm giving it away or selling it to somebody who's going to use it.
And that's how I feel about it too. Like if like, especially if it's like in a deck style, like I have a bunch of Merfolk, and I don't like Merfolk, and I have it set aside so I can give it away someday because I don't want to keep Merfolk cards I don't want to keep. You know, something.
I like Merfolk.
Yeah. So like, for instance, this pool game that I'm doing, there's cards in there that are going to be worth, you know, 10, 15, 20. There's even a couple of them that are worth $50, $70 worth in there. But I'm not going to use them. So I'm not going to keep them. And so I have a sealed box of that, what was it, unsanctioned or whatever, that unset that they came out with that you could build, there's decks in it, you have fun. And I have a sealed one of those. I'm going to give that away during the event. It's been sitting in my collection for like 5 years now, or however long it's been out. And I've never opened it. It's still sealed. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to give this away to somebody who wants it, you know?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Like when I did my auction, all the giveaway stuff, where it came from, well, some of it Hellblade sent it, but like the bulk of it came from my own private collection because I'm like, I'm never going to use these Japanese art War of the Spark cards. I'm never going to use these 3 swords because I'm always feeling weird about swords. I'm like, they're worth money. People will enjoy them. People will have them. You know, because there are people who love swords. Like my friend Andrew loved the sword cycle from back in the day. Oh yeah,
there's a new one coming out.
What's up?
There's a new one coming out.
Yes, there is. I want to mention in the comments that Tabal and James were saying, like, well, I was in my 20s when Magic came out. Well, I got you both beat. I was 9 years old.
You're a baby. What were you doing playing this?
Oh, I got you beat. I was 6.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
When did Magic come out?
93.
Yeah.
The same
Yep,
year
I was born in
Elijah-
'87.
I was
Oh,
just
oh my-
graduating.
oh
I
my
was just
God.
graduating high school then.
Right.
87. I just got 87. So that was just before I got out here to California. So yeah, it was my last year of high school. Oh geez.
TCU, like,
TCU
that
was
was
one.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh, God,
But yeah,
I need
so
my cane just to sit here now.
you're in the beard club. You got it. Everybody here. You don't see Captain Waffle's face, but he even has a beard, and I don't think he plans on shaving that off.
There it
at
is. There's Captain Waffles.
So
No, the last time I shaved it off, my wife almost divorced me.
trust me, I went through that too. I went through that.
You ever freak her
whole
out and
thing
just
too.
shave the mustache? I like
I've
going
done
for
that.
the
Well,
almond
I have to trim my mustache, but I don't shave it.
I don't know if you heard her in the background, but it's like, no.
Like one time I shaved down to a mustache and I was told to look like a preacher. That's funny. But no, so collecting cards. Like I love playing with cards. I love putting them in decks. I love to see the value. Like if a card's worth lots of money because it's good in a format, if I get my grubby little hands on one, I like to play it, test its metal. I like it to show off and to show me why it's worth money. But I also like cards like unexpected results. Now, if I was to collect a card just for the fun of it and build up a collection, it would be unexpected results. And there'll be a few other cards. I really need to put a list of like top 10 pet cards of mine. There's like 10 cards I always run in decks or something.
See, I can't run my favorite card. It's not legal.
Well, true. I don't know what your
Armageddon?
favorite card is, but I'm agreeing with
No,
you.
my favorite card that was ever printed was Rocket Powered Turbo Slug.
Oh, yeah.
What was that from?
It's from Unhinged, I think. It's
Unhinged.
Wait, yeah, Unhinged. It has super haste. You can play it before you can play it.
My favorite unhinged card that wasn't the big furry monster.
I was gonna say big
was
furry
Ashnod's
monster.
coupon. Because I always loved the
Ashnod.
idea that if I could run that in a standard deck, play against my opponent, and force him to buy me a soda, I would do it.
So there was one card that we always ran in our cube that was an unhinged card. It was Cheaty Face.
Cheaty Face.
Yes.
Oh, I've heard stories
Yeah.
about Cheaty Face.
Yeah, we ran that in the cube, and we had a lot of fights over that card.
Right, and I actually like there's a guy who actually got away with running it in a store-based F&M. Because there was like at the time the legality wasn't fully pushed, and he played by the rule of the cards, where he got to go through his deck and search out X amount of cards with the spell. I can't remember the name of the spell, but you got to search the deck for X amount of cards and put them under a card. He put Cheaty Face under his card and a bunch of and just for that one event, they allowed it. And
Nice.
because the guy didn't know he wasn't allowed to play him. Then after he was told he wasn't allowed to play the combo. Well, there's rules. It's just
Sure.
funny. The guy was new to the game, learned the card, and thought it was awesome. Right? Yeah.
So I remember you talking about Battle of Wits the other day. I remembered there was this guy. He was actually a relatively good player. We played at GPs and stuff, and he day two'd consistently and stuff like that. But he played Battle of Wits at in one night and went 5-0 with Battle of Wits. It was insane. Like he built the deck in a way to where it functioned well, but he played it, and then everybody that he played against was like, "Don't ever play this deck again, please." And then so we would jokingly tell him every once in a while, "Hey, you need to bring Battle of Wits." And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then one time he brought it without anybody knowing, and he sits down to play again. Everybody left. Everybody just got up and left. It was so funny.
That's
Oh
hilarious.
Lord!
Metamonk, hello. Hi. Oh, got the waffles. How did you do that?
He just pushed me.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, your love was missing. So what are some, like, if you guys had a pet card that you could collect, like personally, what kind of card would you collect? What card in particular would you collect?
If they ever made a card with a waffle on it, I'd be collecting the shit out of that.
Well,
Oh,
when they do the Shrek IP, they'll have waffles as a food.
Nice. If it
I'm
was,
gonna-
if I was collecting a card, just to do that, a single card, I would be collecting Teferis just to get them out of the world.
So what you're saying is I'll never let go of mine? Got it.
Exactly.
All right, that's cool.
Mm.
Fairies. I thought you'd want to collect all the Tibalts, though.
No, there's plenty. There needs to be more Tibalts out there. But if it's one card that's a favorite of mine, that's for no other good reason, is the probably the Elixir of Immortality.
Oh, Elixir. Love Elixir. I like to shuffle my graveyard and back into the library
and gain a little bit of life, and gain a little bit of life along the way. I've taken so much grief from playing that from so many people, though.
Why? It's such
Because
a good
they
card.
feel like I'm wasting my. Because I feel like I'm wasting my time with, instead of advancing my win condition or advancing my board state, they feel like it's going backwards. But I have a secret suspicion, and the secret suspicion is they don't like the idea of me putting all my board wipes back in my deck to play them again. I think that's what it is.
Well,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I mean, with Elixir, let's say they take out your win conditions and they're in the graveyard. I'm gonna put them back in. Look at that. I have my win
Get 'em
conditions
right
back.
in.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dedicating one spot to Elixir, that's fine. But if you've got like 10 spots dedicated to the same effect, that's a little overkill.
Yeah.
Right. I like dedicating 10 spots to board wipes. Board wipes are the power level
Oh,
equivalent.
I didn't say to board wipes. I said to the recursion of Elixir.
Yeah.
I run like 5 or 6 board wipes in my Urza deck, and everybody at the shop gets mad at me, and it's like, hey, whoa, sometimes we just need to reset. It's okay.
Right? Reset, relax.
What I've learned
Come
though
back.
is
Collect.
I've tried to be more respectful of other people's time, though, because I do know that sometimes people don't get out to play as much as I do, and like it's their one night. So if the game is dragged on too long and I do too many board wipes, then it's like they've started overplaying the same game again and again. So I've started, at least in my head, to try to think of it like, well, maybe I need to hold back a little bit, but then I spend the mana and play the board wipe anyhow. So I don't know.
That's what I would do too.
Real quick, I want to say goodbye to Mana Monk. Have a good day at work. Have a good one. And
See you,
TCJ
Mana
said
Monk.
he knew he'd like us because he liked some Elixir Immortality. And now shoot it off to Hillbilly.
Well, that's a hard question for me to answer, to be honest, because I just like Magic in general.
Right, but if there's one card that you favorited the most, if it's a good card or a stupid card like Unexpected Results that you just love playing and that you could collect, what would you collect?
That would honestly probably be Toxtrol.
Ooh,
Mm.
Tactical. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
But
Yeah,
I'd
that's
have to
good.
have another card with that. That would be the Massacre Girl.
Oh yeah.
How evil. Evil. Which one? The
new
original one? The
The
one?
new one.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
Well, I want to share something with you guys about Unexpected Results. It was a Ravnica card. He came from Ravnica and did not see a reprint in Ravnica Remastered.
Mhm.
Mm.
So it's
That
going
was
to go up in value.
unexpected.
I got that card too.
Yeah, I really don't know if it's going up in value, but it didn't get reprinted. Some people say they reprint everything. That card didn't get reprinted. It was actually a card I was hoping for a special variant of. And no.
Yep.
Poor Tortoise got disappointed.
So I found a fun little combo in the Karlov set that I'm gonna put into my Urza EDH, and it's not like a game breaking combo or anything, but the new Thrall that whenever an artifact or a creature comes into play, it doesn't trigger abilities. So I drafted this black-white deck the other day, and I got the Thrall, and then I got the Barbed Servitor. And it's really funny because when Barbed Servitor comes in, you suspect it, so it can't block. But I've been getting really lucky and playing the Thrall on turn 2 and then the Barbator on turn 4. And it's literally a blocker that just sits there and they don't want to attack because every time the Servitor takes damage, it deals that much damage to your opponent. And it's indestructible. So it's just a 1/1 dude that sits there and goes, you want to attack? How much damage do you want to take?
What color is that?
And so it's the Thrall is white and the Barbator is black. And I played the Urza from Brothers War that has the 3 colors, Esper colors. And so I'm thinking about putting that into my deck because on top of that, Thrall shuts down a lot of cards that do ETBs and things like that. So it'd be really funny to play that and just sit there. And then if they're like, oh, I'll blast this back the board, it's like, okay, take 13.
Ooh, right.
I like that because I do something like that with the Brash Taunter and Star of Extinction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star of
I play that on
Extinction.
Arena a lot.
Yeah, he says one of his favorite cards of all time is Poison Tip Archer. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Woohoo. What is it? One combo I'd like to pull off one day. It's a stupid janky combo, but you know that 4-mana Geological Explorer card with Discover 3? I can't remember his name exactly.
Geological Appraiser got banned.
Geological Appraiser. I'd love to see that on a Mimic Vat. Every turn you create a copy of a token, it comes into play. You get a hasty attacker for till in a turn, then you get a Discover 3 every time it enters the battlefield.
I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it. You can flicker them with Deadeye, you can flicker them with Conjurer's Closet. Like, there's all kinds of different things you can do.
Right. But just the Mimic Vat thing just seems fun. It seems more relevant to use Mimic Vat because it's not blue or.
Well, the Conjurer's Closet isn't blue, but the problem with Mimic Vat is you have to exile it under it when it dies.
Right.
So if they destroy your Mimic Vat, that thing's gone. You can't get anything back.
It's gone unless you sacrifice something to it and replace it.
Correct. But still, like if you don't have a way to sacrifice to it, then
Right. Now I get what you're saying. I just think it's a fun combo idea because you're just okay.
Or you could play white in the deck and have Pool from Eternity and get it back.
Right. I love Cascade effects and I like Discover as an ability. So Discover being an ETB effect is what draws me to that. Now I could be a derp and say I like Natali Primal Conqueror and I want to put that in a Mimic Vat. Well, fine, sure, I can do that. But Geological Appraiser just sounds so much fun.
Cool.
When it comes to collecting stuff, do you guys go for different artworks, or you just kind of collect the ones that the main ones, whatever set you fell in love with the card in?
For me, it's playability.
Yeah.
For me, it's both. It's playability, and I say both. You said one thing. I like playability, but I love variants. I do love variants, and I love foil variants if I can. But like some cards, I can't get variants. Like, boom, I just got this, a Sludge Titan. Sludge Titan. So I can see a variant.
Billy's got crabs.
Yep, I get crabs.
And I didn't see a variant for this Young Deathclaw when I ordered them. I didn't see variants, so I just went for the cards that existed. But if possible, I love the foils, if affordable, and I love to get the variants because I love the full art borders and stuff like that. But don't get me wrong, there are some cards I just hate the variants of, like the Amaket variants.
Mhm.
Really rough.
The masterpieces.
Yeah, the masterpieces back
Yeah.
from Amaket, because not only did they go overboard on making the variant look like a variant, they shrunk the picture down a little.
Mm.
Yeah. So my gripe is I used to like foils. I don't like them anymore because they're all Pringles now. But the way that they should do variants, in my opinion, is get rid of extended art, get rid of the masterpiece ways that they do, like the Aether Revolts and the Amonkhet, all those, and make it simple. You either get a retro frame, you get a regular frame, or you get a borderless. That's it. Like, simplify it to those three, because majority of people either love the retro frame, love the new way they do it, which is like the modern 8th edition up, or they like the borderless, where it's the full art of everything.
Right. I like that idea. But you know what I loved more than the full art was, well, it's going to sound backwards. I like the original full art where they had the text box and everything, and that, like, it looked like a magic card but full art, and then it had the text box, but you could see the artwork behind the text box, and the text was like white.
Yeah, like when they did for original Throne of Eldraine, when you got like Garruk's the Huntmaster one, and it was borderless full art, but it looked like all they did was just like remove the border, and you kept everything else, and you could see behind the actual abilities. You could see some of the art there. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Leave it at that, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
My problem
Too many
with
variants, it gets hard to see everything on the board and stuff when other people are playing things. Like, I don't even recognize what that card is, and they'll tell you, and it's like,
oh my
I
god,
know that one.
And then you have those people who don't have OCD, and I want to, like, I'm not trying to promote violence, but I want to punch them in the face because they're playing like a border. They're playing 4 copies of the card, 1 regular, 1 borderless, 1 extended art, and 1 in Japanese. And it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh.
Like, I'm sorry, but that would literally drive me nuts if I had that as my deck.
Right. And on top of that, they did how many different arts of Relentless Rats for a deck now?
Ugh.
I
mean, at this point, if you're gonna play Relentless X, that might be the one time where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play 1 of each variant just because.
Just because. No, that's a good one. That's a good idea. A good way to think about it. Whew. Like, I was gonna say something, but did someone else have something to say?
My only problem with
Bananas.
my only problem with Magic is the foils, because they Pringle. They used to not Pringle back when they first started making them, and now they just Pringle like crazy, and that's the only cards I don't like.
Look, I don't know what you guys all go through, but most Pringles I get are because I didn't sleeve them in time. But I do have a couple cards that are Pringled, but not as much.
Mm-hmm.
I bought like a New Capenna bundle box from like Walmart because it was like $30. I was like, cool, I'll see if I can get a Triome. I open it up and the foil lands in there, still in the little packaging, are curved like a half pipe, and I'm like, are you serious?
Oh no,
Like,
I had that happen from Brothers War once, where the foil lands were curled already.
Yeah, I look at those and I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do with these? Make them frisbees, use them in my bicycle. Like, what am I gonna do?
You're gonna get glue, and you're gonna make a little boat, and you're gonna put some sticks in it.
Make a
and
canoe.
You're gonna have an Irish funeral.
I'm gonna make a canoe with the foil side down, and that should probably repel the water, and I'll be able to float.
Right. Hey, I've heard crazier things. My grandpa made a cement boat once at work. So hey.
Wow. Somebody told me that you can iron out, literally, no pun intended, iron out the Pringles by running them through a laminator. If you put them in a thing that doesn't have any plastics or whatever, but like you run it through that and heat it, that it will iron it out for you so that you don't get that same Pringling effect. I haven't yet to try that myself, though.
That sounds
well. If you try it with basic lands.
Yeah, start with those first. Yeah.
See how that
One
works.
of the things I used to do with those is I had a guy who could make foil proxies. And what you would do is you would give him a whole stack of those foil lands that were all pringled. And he did something where he wiped the front of the card off and it left the foiling. And then it would print on it and make it foil. And I would just give him all of those and be like, here, make foil proxies.
What is it? Not
Acetone?
yeah, acetone.
I think it's
or-
acetone. Yeah.
Acetone and a microfiber cloth. That's how I did it. I never made proxies, but I always loved wiping out a foil. Especially like a cheap foil. But now I love foils. Like it's so much I wouldn't do that anymore. Why? Because Tortoise loves his foilings. Tortoise loves them a lot. He doesn't want to get rid of them. He wants to play with stuff. And man, you know what grinds my gears? All right. So, with the auction money, I ordered some sleeves to give away, right? The sleeves shipped off from Texas. I live in Iowa. That should have been a straight line up. Now the sleeves are in Chicago, which is a state above us.
Oh no.
That's
What
because
the
of flat Earth.
Well, when I get mail sent from anywhere, it goes to Nashville, which is under me, then comes back to me. I mean, it'll pass on that truck right past my city. Then they'll drop them off in Nashville. Then they'll put them on another truck to ship them back to me.
The real world, what's up?
Well,
What's up?
here's the thing. Do you live in a rural city or do you live in like a big city?
Mine's pretty big.
I live in a big city myself.
Okay, because usually they have hubs that they send to first, and then it gets distributed from there. And the only reason why I know this because I used to work at Amazon, so the way they do everything is they have like their warehouse, and then they have a distribution center, and from the distribution center is where they fix. So like, if for instance, like in PDX in Portland, if you're picking an item there, they send it all the way over to Beaverton to then be shipped all the way back to Portland. Like
Right.
it makes no sense, but that's just how they do it.
Bro, it's how it works. Our pub or hub is in Des Moines. Every time we get mail that ships to where I live, it goes to Des Moines first, and then ships out to my city.
Okay, there's a hub here where I'm at. Then we got we got our post office hub. Then we got a regular post office, but still it'll go all the way to Nashville, Tennessee. I'm living in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Then we'll come to the hub here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Then it'll go to the post office. Then it'll get shipped out to me.
I think you're just on a blacklist, hillbilly.
Apparently.
Probably.
They want to make you wait for your stuff.
Yeah. Now is a good time to get to the next segment of the day.
Ooh.
Next segment, we're gonna do a next segment. Next segment. Whoop, 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 whoop. The deck of the day.
The deck of the day is brought to you by Red Cub Leather. High quality leather deck boxes and merchandise. Customizable options are available. The link is in the description box below.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change.
Boom, boom. Child of Laura is the
Don't wake the baby deck.
Yeah. It cost a Wooburg, one of each color. This is the first time I realized the card had trample. It's a 6/6 with trample, and whenever a Child of Laura dies, destroy all non-land permanents that can't be regenerated.
Ooh.
Right. Since we're on a time restraint, I'm not going to go through the entire deck here. But what I want to highlight is Door to Nothing is the win condition. There's some landfall shenanigans in this deck and a crap ton of ramp, right? And you got planeswalkers and stuff. But the key to the creatures in this deck are actually all the man lands. I want to highlight that people use the man lands in this deck, all 10 of them, or a lot of them, I should say, more than 10, just to get through the board wipes, survive the board wipes so they can attack. This whole line over here is a maybe board. So I wanted to shout out the idea that someone made a landfall deck based off man lands ramping to make Child of Allura, as I'm showing you crop rotation, cultivate, cultivator colossus, all these good things. This is a really fun deck. Like I was looking through the deck list, and the manlands are like the main thing to survive all the ruinous blasts. This deck focuses on mana fixing and landfall triggers. Yeah.
Do they have
So
a way
play
for
Blood
a
Moon and you win.
second? Nice.
They have a couple sack outlets. One thing I found weird is they're running Archaeolus Lagoon Mystic in this deck for some reason. Maybe for their manlands to come to play untapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another
Spelunking.
Amulet of Vigor type. Yeah, there was Spelunking, Amulet of Vigor. It's basically you want them to come in untapped, so you can use them for mana if you have some kind of haste effect.
Right. And like I really like the idea of this deck. And like if we had more time, I would go through the deck more. Because the lands are important in this deck. But you're running Constant Mist, Ghostly Prison.
Here's and I have because if somebody plays a Blood Moon, you're
right, you're screwed. But because they don't have any, like, there's not a lot of enchantment destruction in this deck. I noticed.
Yeah, they need to run something because not like it's going to be ran pretty heavily, but I'm sure there's things out there that people will have to disrupt some kind of land activation or whatever.
Right. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it. It's a flavor win for me. That's why I like the deck. You're right. Then there's a maybe board, and the maybe board means they maybe will play these cards. But who knows?
And then is there recursion for Door to Nothingness, or is it just a one-time kill?
It's a one-time kill.
Well, because you don't kill everybody with it, do you? It's just target player.
When you sacrifice
target player loses the game.
Yep. You just play double over and you sacrifice it. And
I know how it works. It's just so what are you trying to Eternal Witness. I was gonna say, are you just letting everybody else kill each other and then you take out the last player?
Or last two players. Boom. Yeah, like I said, if we had more time, I'd go through the deck. More in discreet. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure this deck was shown.
Nice.
This deck looks good. So that has been the deck of the day. Boop.
Ooh.
Due to time constraints, we are not going to go through the movers and shakers today. But I really wanted to showcase that deck. And I'm going to share it in Discord.
Cool.
Deck list. So tomorrow I'll be like, hey, I want to go through that deck more personally. Because I like the idea of the deck. I like 5-color decks that run well. See, commander deck list.
Yeah, that looks like a fun deck.
To me, there's only one 5-color deck to run, and that's Tom Bombadil.
I run Judd Archmage Eternal.
I don't run no 5-color decks. Lucky to run a 3-color deck.
I love Bombadil. The sagas are just so much fun because you can just mess with people with sagas, and then they really can't do nothing else. And like you were saying the other day, people are like, I don't run enchantment hate. And it's like one clean fall against me would just slow me down because I just play like Brilliant Restoration or the other ones, Insurgent Belief and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, look, all my stuff's back.
All right. Oh, that is right. There's not much for time restraints today. I missed 2 days this week.
We still have another hour, guys.
Well, I know the ball. I know that the ball loves having these restraints a little, but I totally spaced off. I missed 2 days this week because James was like time restraints, and I was like, wait, why is he asking that? He knows I do an hour show. But,
I will have to bounce here shortly and stuff, but I'm glad I got a chance to show up and see you guys again.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, we're gonna end the show like we normally do. Well, I want to give everybody the time to show themselves.
All right, I'm at 380 subs. 380. So we're still getting close to the 400 mark where that'll kick off a giveaway. And I'm still waiting on being able to give more information out. And more information will come once the closer we get to the 400 sub giveaway. And I'm looking forward to doing this giveaway. And also, I am doing one stream a day now, which is Arena 9 a.m. Central Standard Time every day. And then on Saturdays, I'm doing 2 streams. I'm doing Arena at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then I'm also doing Commander that afternoon at 2 o'clock Central Time.
Woohoo!
That's all I have to share for today.
Chill. Now, all right, we're gonna go over to Bolt.
So I am 9 followers away from 500 on YouTube. So I've had a lot of people go there. I am going to then crack this box when I get to 500, and I'm going to be giving some of the packs away and stuff. I'm going to be opening some, looking for value, just seeing what's in here, looking at, when Magic was still fun and they kind of focused on their own IP. We'll be looking at that. And like I said, I'm going to do some giveaways. The giveaways, though, are going to be worldwide. The last time I did it, it was only for U.S. residents. The last couple of ones I've had to do because I had poor experiences trying to ship throughout the world. But just sending out a couple of booster packs, I think I'm going to be able to do that. So that's something to look forward to. So if you're not already subscribed to me, find me on YouTube as Tybalt's Apprentice. If you want to keep up with day-to-day stuff, look for me on Instagram. And that's Tybalt's_apprentice there. And that's about it. So hope to see you there.
Whoop, whoop. Hope to see you there. Got Captain Waffles. I don't know if you know this, but your icon is not showing. But you get a show for your channel. You were talking about some cool stuff at 420.
Yeah, so April 20th, I will be doing the pool game. Hopefully this week or next week, I'll be finalizing all the game details and putting out a video on where you can sign up and pay and all the fun stuff associated with it and all the prizes that will be given out. As of right now, the grand prize will be 1 whole play booster box of Thunder Junction to 1 lucky person. I'm still deciding how I want to give that away. If it'll be the Wheel of Death or if it'll be just randomly inserted into the pool game. Haven't decided yet how I want to do this. So, but yeah, I got episodes of Wafflecast coming out twice a month, and then, or not Wafflecast, Waffled is coming out twice a month. Wafflecast is every Wednesday. And yeah, be working on streaming some Arena and stuff like that. So might also do a live stream of putting the game together, the pool game. So be on the lookout.
Ooh. Sounds awesome.
Cool. I'd like to see
awesome. Well, the way Tortoise is feeling today, he might go live just in an hour or so doing some cube stuff. That means I have to get things set up and whatnot, but it'll be fun. And don't forget, tonight is DJ Longhair's Round Table. Usually I'm on that if you want to catch a few of us there. So with that, I want to thank you guys for chilling out, hanging out with us, being all cool, playing some b-ball outside of school. You know what we're talking about. You know where we're going. On the Fresh Prince of Magic the Gathering. No, I'm kidding. I know, I'm a dorky. My jokes are not that funny. They're laughing because I'm the popular one. Okay. I'm kidding. All right.
I wasn't laughing.
That's because you took me serious. I want to thank you guys for being awesome, hanging out with us. Thank you for liking the video today. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and always listen to Lord Megatron.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron. Cybertron shall remain as you leave it.